VEO 3.1, session number 2. I want to talk about personas and storyboards because I think this is an important thing to realize and understand. How are these things constructed? I've worked in advertising for almost 40 years. I'm kind of dating myself here a little bit. Started off at Ogilvy and some other large agencies in New York, and I got exposed to this. But the game's obviously changed, right? What we're doing now with AI video creation is faster, cheaper, doesn't have its downsides and challenges, but that's what we're here to figure out. So I'm going to talk about personas real quick. I know we kind of throw this around a lot. What is a persona? It kind of breaks down to 5 different components, right? Sort of demographics, right? So who are they, right? Psychographic, what are their inner personalities, their values and interests? What are their pain points? What are their goals and motivations, what they're trying to achieve? And then what are their media habits? And the media habits important here because as we do a lot of Google ads and programmatic and social media, how do we not only reach these people, but and how do they consume the content, right? So in this example here, it's a female 34-year-old that's in Austin. She values sustainability, yoga, and fears being left behind. She doesn't have time to cook and wants to feel energetic and feed her family nutritious food. And she likes to be on Instagram at night. I'm sure a lot of people are like that. So with regards to the storyboard, this is sort of a traditional 30-second ad. We're going to talk, 30 seconds are challenging, and I know some people are running into difficulties of sort of piecing them together, extending them, or all those sorts of things. But this is sort of the arc, right? And this is what a good commercial is, and this is sort of a simple way of thinking about it, starting with the hook, right? Kind of grabbing their attention. So you think of a personal injury lawyer, car smashes, right? Get your attention, like, oh my God, what just happened? The problem, establishing the tension of the need is, oh my God, I got hurt in a car accident. What am I going to do? And then solution, boom, the hero, the product, the service. In this case, personal injury lawyers here to help them, make them better, get them money. And then the call to action, we know that really well with Google Ads and other things, is whether it's the URL, call today, phone number, tagline, contact us button, all those sorts of things. And so that's kind of the basic level. You want to kind of keep that in the back of your mind as you start to develop these ads. Okay, so within the context of VEO, they really don't have a storyboard, right? They refer to it more as like prompt engineering or prompt roadmap. I've heard a number of different terminologies thrown out, but for purposes of this discussion, we'll call it prompt engineering roadmap. And my first video, I wrote sketches, right? I got my paper and pen out and I kind of mapped it out and all that. And then I looked at the PDF that Google provided, and I'll show that in a moment, sort of, because it's hard, right? There's a lot of content in there of camera movement, scenes, graphics, all this other stuff, right? And then you've got images and then time limited. So these are data inputs at the end of the day, right? They're not just visuals as you would in a traditional storyboard if you're making a TV commercial, because got a lot more flexibility. If you ask the actor or actress to say something or do something, they're going to do it, right? In the context of AI, you're trying to ask them to do it, and they're doing weird stuff, right? But it's kind of fun. It makes for interesting conversations thereafter. And so these sort of coherent clips, right? So how do we create them? And they're 8 seconds is what VEO produce. And then if you want a 30, you're going to need to break it down. You're going to have 4, 5, sometimes 6 clips. I don't know if you're like me now. I'm actually counting the seconds of a scene in a TV commercial when I'm watching on whether it's streaming or football game or whatever. I'm like 1, 2, 3. So you'll start to see how fast things move, right? So when in the context of prompt engineering, you've got the prompt sheet. And again, this is something that Google provided, but if we take it, and this example here is just, shot number 1 of 4 or 5, it's 4 seconds long. And we've got to put in these elements, right? The cinematography, the subject, the action, the context, the style, sometimes audio. So whether it's birds chirping or voiceover, I find voiceover to be very effective with VEO because it just does a really good job of either syncing to the person's lips or allowing you to say it in the background and achieving the result that you're looking for. And then the technical inputs, whether you're doing an image, and we'll talk in the future about sort of image creation, image consistency. Text to video is what was provided here on this slide I put together, but I use ingredients to video a lot because I want to sort of control the image, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later. So here's a prompt example, right? This is shot number 3 of 5. It's 5 seconds long. It's talking about a coffee, single drop of milk, dark moody background, warm lighting, 8K resolution, the audio, the liquid splash, the deep ridge, the jazz piano playing in the background, right? In this technical, they added a coffee cup reference JPEG as an ingredient. So before I move further, this video is for others. Hopefully they're going to apply and join us in the future. I ask you to do so. We're going to jump in and go offline. You guys are going to stay online, obviously. But I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to do this. And then our next session, in a couple weeks, it might be 3 weeks, because I might be going away. I have to check my calendar. I'll let you know. We'll figure out how to do realistic image development. And I know when you look at a lot of AI videos today, some of them look really fake and really bad, right? So you're like, oh yeah, that's AI, I know that. But how can you make it look real, right? And have them have consistency across multiple video iterations, so that person that's in the first video is the same one in the second, third, fourth, fifth shot. And then when you string them together, it's the same individual. You can have actually up to 2 or 3 at the end of the day.